They're all set to address the media. They've just finished their bilateral talks and they're now out in front of the media. We're expecting a statement, an address to the media at any moment. But visuals on your screens are live.
If everyone could just please be seated for us. Thank you. The fabric of this relationship continues to grow stronger, and we stand on the cusp of opportunities that will yield tremendous results and strengthen our resilience in high-tech artificial intelligence, quantum computing, as well as economic, diplomatic, and security collaboration. Now, we are pleased to announce that a variety of agreements will be signed by the State of Israel and the Republic of India, agreements that will strengthen our partnership, drive innovation, and deepen the bond between Jerusalem and New Delhi. We will now begin the signing of these agreements in the presence of both Prime Ministers. The Cultural Exchange Program and the Memorandum of Understanding to the India-Israel Innovation Center for Agriculture will be signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Gideon Sa'ar, and External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you both. Thank you. You can exit the stage now as we continue. The Memorandum of Understanding in the field of geophysical exploration will be signed by the Energy and Infrastructure Mr. Eli Cohen and External Affairs Minister Mr. Jai Shankar as well. Please take the stage as well. Thank you both. And now, the Memorandum of Understanding for Development of the National Maritime Heritage Complex in Lothal will be signed by the Minister of Heritage, Mr. Amichai Eliyahu, and the External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you. Thank you both. And now the Declaration of Intent in the field of horizon scanning will be signed by the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Ms. Gila Gamliel, and External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you both. And now the Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in the field of Fisheries and Aquaculture will be signed by Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Mr. Avi Dichter, and the External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you both. And now the Memorandum of Understanding on the Cooperation on Advancing Education through the Use of Artificial Intelligence will be signed by the Minister of Education, Mr. Yoav Kish, and the External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you both very much. And the presentation of the report of the 4th India-Israel CEO Forum will be presented by the Trade Commissioner for the Ministry of Economy, Mr. Roy Fisher, and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Please take the stage. And now the implementation protocol to the agreement in commerce and services sector, the manufacturing sector, and the restaurant sector will be signed by the Director of Foreign Workers Administration at the Population and Immigration Authority, Mr. Moshe Nakash, and the Foreign Secretary for the Republic of India, Mr. Vikram Misri. Please take the stage. General of the National Cyber Directorate, Mr. Yossi Karadi, and the Foreign Secretary for the Republic of India, Mr. Vikram Misri. Thank you both. And now the Memorandum of Understanding between NPCI, International Payments Limited, and Masav, linking UPI, will now be signed by the CEO of Masav, Ophir Kadosh, and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Thank you. And now the agreement on commercial arbitration will now be signed by attorney Dr. Menashe Cohen and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Thank you. The Memorandum of Understanding between the International Financial Services Center Authority and the International Securities Authority will now be signed by the Chairman of the Israel Securities Authority, Advisor Yosef Zinger, and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Thank you. And finally, our last one today, the Memorandum of Understanding on Artificial Intelligence will now be signed by the Director of the National Artificial Intelligence Directorate, Brigadier General in the Reserves, Erez Askal, and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Thank you all for your participation today. I now want to welcome to the stage, to the podium, the Prime Minister of the State of Israel, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, to share a few remarks.
This is an amazing visit. An amazing conclusion to an amazing visit. It was short, but extraordinarily productive and also extraordinarily moving. I think there wasn't a dry eye left in Israel after your moving statement yesterday in the Knesset, and I can tell you that since then we've had also the opportunity, an amazing conclusion to an amazing visit. It was short, but extraordinarily productive and also extraordinarily moving. I think there wasn't a dry eye left in Israel after your moving statement yesterday in the Knesset, and I can tell you that since then we've had also the opportunity to not look all deep into our hearts, but also into our remarkable minds that we have in our two countries. We saw an exhibit of innovation that excites imagination beyond belief. We spoke about cooperation with the extraordinarily talented people of India and our people, and we're working this into concrete plans. I'll just give you two examples. You know, you talk about precision agriculture. You know what that means. It means you don't average irrigate a field. You target a specific part. No, you target a specific plant. You water a plant. Well, why can't you water a specific student's mind? When we talk about precision education, we have now the software and the AI to reach every young student, boy or girl, and enable them to reach their full potential. And the limitations that were constraining us in previous times no longer constrain us. That is, to those who seize the future. The future belongs to those who innovate, and Israel and India are bent on innovation. We are proud ancient civilizations, very proud of our past, but absolutely determined to seize the future, and we can do it better together. We've decided to have a G2G meeting in India as soon as we can arrange it. We'd like to take the distinguished ministers who are here. I have to comment, my friend Narendra, you have an amazingly efficient government. I mean, what you can do with one minister and one ambassador. Now, it gives me thoughts. I don't want you to worry about it. Don't worry about it. But in fact, we know that the meeting of minds and hearts that we've had here will also continue in this remarkable G2G that is long overdue and will create an even greater boost to the enormous benefits that we can bring to each other and I think to humanity at large. And finally, I have to say at the end of this visit that I owe India, I don't know if I told you this, Narendra, but I owe India a great personal debt. You see, when I met Sarah for the first time, I think our first or second date was in an Indian restaurant in Tel Aviv. It was Rina Pashkarna. And I have to tell you, there is no question. First of all, the food was unbelievable. And Sarah was introduced to it for the first time, so it was a great first date, not only with the food, the date was excellent too. So obviously, I'm indebted to you, as are my children, and I want to tell you how deeply and from the heart we feel both our personal friendship and the friendship between our governments and our peoples, and may this continue and flourish and strengthen, as I'm sure it will as a result of this visit. Thank you, Narendra, and thank you all. Thank you.
So I'll have to use Your Excellency, प्रधानमंत्री और मेरे मित्र नेतन्याहू, मिसेस नेतन्याहू, दोनों देशों के डेलीगेट्स, मीडिया के साथियों, नमस्कार, शालोम। मेरे और भारतीय डेलीगेशन के गर्मजोशी भरे स्वागत के लिए मैं प्रधानमंत्री नेतन्याहू का एक बार फिर हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। 9 वर्ष पहले मुझे इजरायल की यात्रा करने वाले पहले भारतीय प्रधानमंत्री बनने का सौभाग्य मिला था। एक बार फिर इजरायल की ऐतिहासिक भूमि पर कदम रखना मेरे लिए गर्व और भावुकता का क्षण है। कल मुझे इजरायल के पार्लियामेंट को संबोधित करने का अवसर मिला। वहां मुझे स्पीकर ऑफ द क्नेसेट मेडल से भी सम्मानित किया गया। मैं इस सम्मान के लिए क्नेसेट स्पीकर महोदय, मेरे मित्र प्रधानमंत्री नेतन्याहू और इजरायल के लोगों का हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता हूं और इसे 140 करोड़ भारतवासी और भारत इजरायल मित्रता को मैं समर्पित करता हूं। फ्रेंड्स, हमारे संबंध समय की हर कसौटी पर खरे उतरे हैं। आज हमने अपनी टाइम टेस्टेड साझेदारी को स्पेशल स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप का दर्जा देने का ऐतिहासिक निर्णय लिया है। यह निर्णय दोनों देशों के लोगों की आकांक्षाओं का प्रतिबिंब है। फ्रेंड्स, आज की बैठक में हमने अपने सहयोग को नई दिशा और तेज गति देने पर चर्चा की। हमारा आर्थिक सहयोग ग्रोथ, इनोवेशन और शेयर प्रॉस्पेरिटी का इंजन बना हुआ है। आपसी निवेश को बढ़ावा देने के लिए हमने पिछले वर्ष बायलैटरल इन्वेस्टमेंट एग्रीमेंट किया। हम शीघ्र ही एक म्यूचुअली बेनिफिशियल फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट को भी अंतिम रूप देंगे। टेक्नोलॉजी हमारी भावी साझेदारी का केंद्र है। आज हमने क्रिटिकल एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी पार्टनरशिप स्थापित करने का निर्णय लिया है। इससे एआई, क्वांटम और क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स जैसे क्षेत्रों में सहयोग को नई गति मिलेगी। मुझे खुशी है कि इजरायल में यूपीआई के इस्तेमाल के लिए समझौता किया गया है। डिजिटल हेल्थ के क्षेत्र में भी हम अपने अनुभव साझा करते हुए लोगों के जीवन में सुधार लाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं। रक्षा के क्षेत्र में हमारा दशकों पुराना विश्वसनीय सहयोग रहा है। पिछले वर्ष हुए एमओयू से इसमें नए आयाम जुड़ेंगे। हम मिलकर जॉइंट डेवलपमेंट, जॉइंट प्रोडक्शन और ट्रांसफर ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी की दिशा में आगे बढ़ेंगे। साथ ही हम सिविल न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी और स्पेस जैसे क्षेत्रों में भी सहयोग आगे बढ़ाएंगे। फ्रेंड्स, दोनों देशों के बीच कृषि सहयोग का लंबा और सफल इतिहास रहा है। आज हमने इस सहयोग को फ्यूचरिस्टिक दिशा देने का संकल्प लिया है। इजरायल के सहयोग से भारत में स्थापित सेंटर्स ऑफ एक्सीलेंस हमारी मित्रता के उत्तम उदाहरण है। इनकी सफलता देखते हुए हमने इनकी संख्या 100 तक ले जाने का 100 तक ले जाने का लक्ष्य निर्धारित किया है। इस दिशा में एक कदम और बढ़ाते हुए विलेजेस ऑफ एक्सीलेंस बनाने पर भी काम कर रहे हैं। इससे इजरायली टेक्नोलॉजी भारत के गांव-गांव तक पहुंचेगी और लाखों किसानों की आय और उत्पादकता में बहुत बढ़ोतरी होगी। हम मिलकर फ्यूचर रेडी फार्मिंग सॉल्यूशंस भी विकसित करेंगे। भारत में इंडिया इजराइल इनोवेशन सेंटर फॉर एग्रीकल्चर की स्थापना इस सहयोग के लिए मजबूत आधार प्रदान करेगी। फ्रेंड्स, हमारे पीपल टू पीपल टाइज हमारे संबंधों का एक महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभ है। 2023 में हुए मैन पावर मोबिलिटी एग्रीमेंट के माध्यम से भारत ने इजरायल के कंस्ट्रक्शन और केयर गिवर सेक्टर्स में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दिया है। भारतीय कामगारों ने अपनी मेहनत, प्रतिबद्धता और कौशल से विश्वास अर्जित किया है। मुझे खुशी है कि इस सहयोग का विस्तार कॉमर्स और सर्विसेज जैसे क्षेत्रों में भी किया जा रहा है। दोनों देशों के युवाओं, रिसर्चर्स और इनोवेटर्स को जोड़ना हमारी मुख्य प्राथमिकता रही है। इस दिशा में आज हम इंडिया इजराइल एकेडमिक फोरम की स्थापना कर रहे हैं। फ्रेंड्स, आज हमने क्षेत्रीय एवं वैश्विक मुद्दों पर भी व्यापक चर्चा की। क्षेत्रीय कनेक्टिविटी को बढ़ावा देते हुए हम इंडिया मिडिल ईस्ट यूरोप इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर आईमैक और इंडिया इजराइल यूएई यूएसए यानी I2U2 पर नई गति से आगे बढ़ेंगे। फ्रेंड्स, भारत और इजराइल पूरी तरह से स्पष्ट है कि आतंकवाद का दुनिया में कोई स्थान नहीं है। किसी भी रूप में, किसी भी अभिव्यक्ति में आतंकवाद को स्वीकार नहीं किया जा सकता। हम कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आतंकवाद और उनके समर्थकों का विरोध करते रहे हैं और आगे भी करते रहेंगे। पश्चिम एशिया में शांति और स्थिरता से भारत के सीधे सुरक्षा हित जुड़े हैं। इसलिए हमने शुरुआत से ही संवाद और शांतिपूर्ण समाधान का समर्थन किया है। यही ग्लोबल साउथ और पूरी मानवता की पुकार है। भारत की सोच स्पष्ट है। ह्यूमैनिटी मस्ट नेवर बिकम अ विक्टिम ऑफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट। गाजा पीस प्लान से शांति का एक रास्ता बना है। भारत ने इन प्रयासों का पूर्ण समर्थन किया है। भविष्य में भी हम सभी देशों के साथ संवाद और सहयोग जारी रखेंगे। एक्सेलेंसी, माय डियर फ्रेंड, आपकी आत्मीयता और गर्मजोशी ने मेरी यात्रा को यादगार बना दिया है। मैं एक बार फिर आपसे और इजराइल के लोगों से जो प्यार मिला है, जो स्नेह मिला है, जो सम्मान मिला है, इसके लिए हृदय से बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। तोदा रब्बा।
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I ask you to just remain seated, please, both Prime Minister Netanyahu and Prime Minister Modi, before they have departed. So just remain in your seats. Thank you very much.
Right, that concludes Prime Minister Modi's two-day visit to Israel. Great bonhomie on display between Prime Minister Modi and Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. And more importantly, huge range of MOUs signed between India and Israel. Ambassador Jayant Dasgupta, the first thing that stood out to me, at least, was the fact that there's going to be UPI in Israel, possibly.
It is, I think, a very welcome development, because this is something India can be very proud of, and it has been shared with many countries. And Israel, if it wants to share this technology, because we are offering it, India is offering it on open source basis. So there is no charge to be paid, or intellectual property rights to be satisfied through payment of royalty. And that is a great thing. And I think the Indian government has been projecting it as something which is there for the South, but countries of the North also, including, I think, France, because President Macron himself has showed interest in borrowing this technology from India. So it is the dawn of a new era when India is providing technological solutions to large numbers of countries in the South, as well as to countries in the North, in terms of technology.
Fascinating. Itai Melchior, I was in fact fascinated by the comment that began this entire briefing from Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, praising the Indian government, Prime Minister Modi's government, and the efficiency of his team, because it required only one foreign minister and one ambassador to get so many things done. And here you have the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel saying, maybe I'm just thinking, but then quickly brushing off those thoughts, much to the relief of all the ministers in the Israeli government.
Yes, well, he does have a sense of humor. I thought you were intrigued by his first date with his wife in an Indian restaurant. But
true. I'm afraid the connection with Itai has just gotten stuck. Professor Swaran Singh, I see you smiling as well. You can come in on the same.
Yeah, I think I noticed that almost a dozen MOUs and agreements, as was expected. And two, for me, interesting is that they have also launched India-Israel Academic Forum. And they have an agreement also in education, particularly focusing on AI as an important field of education to promote between two sides. And of course, other than UPI that you mentioned, Prime Minister also mentioned digital, healthcare in that sense, which India had developed during pandemic period, which easily and efficiently ensured that almost 1 billion people were inoculated, and that has also become a successful Indian platform, and that opens possibilities of other digital infrastructure that India wants to potentially share. As usual, very warm body language on both sides, very positive and informal tone of this briefing. Joint statement is already out. They also mentioned that they have upgraded the relationship from strategic partnership to special strategic partnership. And I think certain amount of focus on building people to people, relations as well. So agreement on cultural exchange, on innovation centers of excellence for agriculture, for example, which now we have a new target of taking these centers of excellence to 100. Ensuring that villages have access to modern technologies to increase income and productivity of Indian farmers. So that complementarity on both sides, I think in terms of making sure that the futuristic, critical and emerging technologies guide their collaborations in coming times shows that the mutual commitment to each other. And then, of course, the mention of ensuring dialogue to make peace and stability possible in the Middle East region, also moving forward in terms of free trade agreement in some ways. So a holistic touch of even mention of board of peace of President Trump. In that sense, a very holistic coverage in Indian Prime Minister's briefing on his 2 days visit here. And then, of course, locating the relationship in the larger spectrum of both IMEC and I2U2, which is at the larger geopolitical stage, also makes these two as very significant nodes of building regional connectivity at a larger scale and the almost global scale kind of geopolitical forum called the Quad for the West Asia I2U2, which underlines the fact that even United States, when it wants to create a Quad for West Asia other than Israel and UAE, it thinks of India. And therefore, India becoming a kind of an acceptable partner for much of the Middle East countries, and therefore has an important role to play. And in that sense, I think connectivity was another important sector which was underlined, and how Prime Minister mentioned that the peace and stability in this entire region has a direct, it impinges directly on India's own national security, and therefore India sees its own interest in ensuring that the Gaza peace plan actually fructifies and opens new possibilities of, ensuring peace and prosperity for almost all nations in the region, and how India would strongly support that kind of larger initiative. So a very, I think, interesting and crisp, holistic outline of what happened in 2 days. And of course, a very informal, interesting mention of the first date of Netanyahu with Mrs. Sarah Netanyahu in an Indian restaurant, bringing the touch of informality and kind of, cultural connect that India and Israel also want to underline, driving their relationship. They also underlined the fact that they both are going to cooperate and emphasize continuously on zero tolerance of terrorism and the supporters of terrorists in all forms and shapes. So that is another significant takeaway, I think, from it. FTA negotiations are going to move forward. People to people focus is there. Trade and investments in AI sector, cybersecurity space. And, it's in that sense very futuristic tone that we notice, whether in terms of Israel, India, building a friendship which is future centric and the future secure in that sense, but also underlining the fact that the people to people connect. And in that sense, reminding of how the 2020 manpower mobility agreement has, as Prime Minister said, greatly contributed to Israel's continuous development and earned goodwill and trust. And in that sense, underlining how the connect is not just at the level of national leaders or two governments, but also at the societal level, people to people also are building increasingly trust with each other and beginning to appreciate. And I think that goes a long way in building any interstate relationship in the long run, because if domestic constituencies on both sides are convinced that that is something which is desirable, then even when leaders change on either side, that continuity, I think, is maintained very easily. And in that sense,